Battlefront 2 is not the same Battlefront that we saw at launch back in 2017. So many things have been added, the game continues to improve, the team continues to kick ass. Now I understand why someone would have avoided the game at launch, I get it. It had a rocky start, there were a lot of unknowns, a huge tsunami of outrage carried a towering wave of criticism, a lot of it justified, and most people were a part of that, in one way or another. But now, a year and a half later, if you haven't picked up the game, in my opinion, you're missing out on a really fun multiplayer Star Wars experience. And you know, maybe you have some unshakable, deep-seated philosophical reason for not buying the game. If that's the case, cool. The game is $4.49 on Origin right now. It is $4.49. On Origin, you can get the game for $4.49. It's $4.49. What were some of the biggest complaints at launch? Loot boxes and their attachment to progression, pay to win, if you will. That no longer exists. The progress system is completely dependent on time spent in the game and the skill you have as a player with each playable class. Play the game, earn the stuff. The progression is rewarding now. The squad system was one of my biggest complaints in the beginning, and that has been changed as well. It's no longer pointless to play with friends. You can now spawn on squad mates. It's one of the best mechanics they've added to the game for sure. It's easy to gain credits to unlock heroes. The game rewards you for playing. It's a fair and balanced system. There were a lot of complaints at launch, most of which have been addressed. And I love how they've embraced a lot of the Clone Wars era too, which is something that I did not expect to enjoy because you guys know me, but I've been having an absolute blast. Here's the thing about people complaining about eras, and I'm guilty of this as well. You're never going to make everyone happy. There are people now complaining about there being too much prequel era stuff. And before this wave of prequel era stuff, there were people complaining about too little prequel era stuff. No matter what era map they introduce, there will always be a subset of fans who are ultimately disappointed and will say, why didn't you add X? Or why are you ignoring Y? Or hey, we're all waiting for Z. But as of right now, more so than any time in the past year and a half of the game's existence, the player base seems pleased with the representation of their favorite era. The game is better than ever. First impressions are hard to change, not necessarily for an individual. Individuals change their impressions all the time, but for the nebulous mass, internet hive mind, impressions have a hard time shifting. Negative perceptions stick like glue. Memes, parroted phrases, they hang around. As I said, this is not the same Battlefront 2 that you played in late 2017. There's a ton of new content, new maps, new modes, and a whole lot more coming in the future. The new normal for online heavy games is the live service model. And hey, there's a lot of criticism for that model as well. But in terms of delivery, the team is delivering a lot. I sincerely hope you're still having fun in the game. And if you haven't played it in a long time, or if you're still on the fence, play it. I don't think you'll be disappointed. And if you are, come back to the comment section of this video and tell me so. Sure, there's still a ton I want to see implemented into the game. Primarily things I've been bitching about since 2015's Battlefront, a server browser and some type of map making software. I don't know if we'll ever see those two things come into play, but until they do, I'll be crossing my fingers, crossing my toes, and doing whatever other superstitious nonsense I can do to make it come to fruition. HelloGreedo, out.